All right, let's continue the conversation. What's going on? All right, should this thing, let me make sure I'm looking at it. Yeah, man, let me get to the couple of questions. It was good to start the conversation a little early today in the comment section, man. I might be doing that. I might be doing that a little more often. Um, so yeah, Matt, you said you don't know what makes what to make of this Tank Haney thing. Haney has a long personal relationship with Floyd, and money doesn't give a ish what Tank thinks. Yeah, hey man, I can understand both point of view. I think Gervonta Davis might be a little bit, yeah. I mean, I just see, what's he going to do, man? What's going on, Mel Brazil? What's Floyd going to do? A kid that he's been working with and knowing for a real long time, is he just going to, ignore him when he's there if he asks some questions and stuff? You know what I mean? I think that probably Tank understands that too. But like I said in the comment, he's probably just somebody that's real, real big into, respect. Probably doesn't trust a lot of people, and he could think, that, that Floyd is being untrustworthy. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's unreasonable to think it based on what he saw. But on the other side for Floyd, Floyd probably feels like he knows that he's not doing anything crazy. So, Tank, at the end of the day, though, Tank is going to have to get over it. Lowest common denominator boxing, home of the demographic. He said, Lil Tank talking like he ain't going to resign with Floyd on the next Cobra contract. Hey, man, yeah, he will. I bet he will. But, there's going to be a lot of people really, gunning for a lot of people that are going to be gunning to sign Tank if it's a question of that. But that's not going to really affect Floyd like that, because Floyd got a bunch of money himself, man. Oh, that's what's up, man. St. Cruz said, Fannon, I caught Corona, but beat it. The whole HCQ worked for me. What's HQC? HCQ. What's HCQ? Tank grew up in the street. Loyalty is everything. Yeah, man, that's what it seems like to me. Just, it's a situation where, he believes that, you want to be, to trust, loyalty, all that. That's the same. That ain't nothing different, though, than what Floyd Mayweather Jr. would require of Tank if Tank was, say, having conversations with Eddie Hearn. Now, see, that would be the better thing to do to Floyd. If Tank, instead of complaining about that, Tank, go send us, okay, hydrochloroquine. Isn't that okay? Hydrochloroquine, good for you. I'm happy, man. That's awesome. I didn't know that you were going through that, but hey, that is absolutely awesome to hear, St. Cruzin. Whew. I think I took HCQ for an anti-malarian when I was in Afghanistan. Oh, something to keep you from catching malaria. Man, and much love. Hey, Matt Newton, much love in that super chat. Thank you so much. TJ Sports says, salute for now. Look like Tank feelings are hurt. Yeah, but he got to suck it up. You under contract, man. And he's getting his money. I mean, you can't have it both ways. If he's happy that he's getting money, he's getting good money over there at Mayweather Promotions, and Floyd took him, Floyd put him in the forefront of boxing. So, loyalty goes both ways, man. Just because the dude is talking and doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing anything crazy. But, loyalty goes both ways. Just sit down and talk to the dude and see if he was really up to something crazy. Hell no. Woolbag said, Teletubby Tank Davis lacks dedication to his craft. Devin Haney would outclass him and possibly stop him. Or Devin Haney knock him out. That could happen too. What's going on, Drew Titan? That could happen too. You know what I mean? Gervonta Davis that ain't easy money, man. That ain't easy money. That is not. I don't get why people think this dude is such easy money. Nothing I've seen from Tank tells me that dude is somebody that is just easy money. Let me see. Teletubby Tank. Teletubby Tank. Hey, Woolbag, what's good, man? Hey, respect to your brother, Terrence Crawford, man. That dude can fight, man. I'm doing this thing for the Patreon, working on this thing on the Patreon about Terrence Crawford. Man, I tell you, dude, that dude can fight, Woolbag. Your brother drink more water can fight. I, that dude can fight. TC the Crisis. Salute my people. Salute to you, Nat Newton. Oh, yeah, I appreciate you. Let me slide down a little bit. Okay, Big Dog Willie in the building said daily affirmation, fuck Billy and White. Yes, sir. D-Style said listening while working. And damn it, go subscribe to D-Style Boxing right away. I wasted a cuss word on it, okay? I demonetized for D-Style Boxing. Go to D-Style Boxing damn channel, subscribe, support that man. What's going on, Jose? The Jesus in the building. I'm chilling, just doing what it's doing. Doing what it's doing. St. Cruising. Glad you beat. Yeah, that's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. Absolute blessing. All right, make sure I'm But Big Dog Willie said, fucks Dillian White. Hey, by the way, I just did want to say, hey, Daryl Lightfoot, are you going to talk about Tank being upset with Floyd? Yeah, I'll do it again since you requested it. That's all right, because I talked about it real quick because people asked about it right as soon as you got in. So I talked about it, but I'll talk about it again. Tank need to fucking relax. That's the end of it. And just go be, well, no, actually, all it's going to do is create more interest in fights between Devin Haney and Gervonta Tank Davis, which is why I must say that it's important to promote American fighters. Because if you have American fighters, you can have conversations about potential fights between American fighters that American fans might care about when their boxing is not active otherwise. But as far as Tank Davis, it's reasonable that he could be upset. Looking from his perspective, I could see why he would feel that way. Looking from Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s point of view, I could understand how he could be put in the position to be there. Because most of the other things have been said about Floyd. Nice way. Hey, thanks, Kennard Smith. Appreciate you. Most things that Floyd has been, has rumors around Floyd so far since this virus started were things like, him coming back to training is one, and the other one was some other rumors. But most of those things wind up, being just kind of, swept to the side eventually. So I just think what probably happened with Floyd was that they were both there at the same time. Floyd, Devin was training. Floyd might have just came in and said, "What's up, Devin?" Not even thought about it, got in the ring and showed him a couple things. But actually, I don't know. He might have been dressed. I don't know, whatever. But anyway, I don't know if it's going to be that big a deal what those guys were talking about. And, but I can understand why he'd be upset. TC the Crisis said, yes, I'm just being repetitive at this point. But you asked, so I had to go through it again. Or I didn't mind. I said I had to go through it again. I wanted to go through it again because you asked. Mayweather has been asking Gervonta Davis to fly out to Mayweather Boxing Club for training camp for a while now. This could be an attempt to push him to do work. Oh, yeah, good observation. Absolutely. Great observation. Very well could be. I mean, Gervonta needs to be training, that's for sure. Has to be training because he's got to fight with Leo Santa Cruz at 130 pounds. A fight at 130 pounds is not necessarily, the easiest weight to make for Gervonta Davis. I'm sure he can make it. His fight before last was at 130 pounds, so there's no reason to believe that he can't. But, it's going to be, if past behavior is gives us any indication of future performance, you might expect that Gervonta Davis will be, having a hard time making 130. So it needs to be worked, especially if he's not working out. Oh, Juniper B said they posted it. Yeah, that's true. They posted it. Oh, they posted it? Oh, yeah, they're being he's being a jerk. All right. Okay, yeah. Floyd might have been being a little bit of a jerk then. I didn't realize that. He said, lowest common denominator back to you were tripping. I can see that. Felt like morphine, dreamy. Oh, man. I did not like the feeling. I had a knee surgery a while back, and they put me on morphine, and I was like, man, this shit made me want to throw up all the time. Floyd Mayweather is in better shape year-round than Tank Davis, and he's retired. It's no wonder Floyd can't respect him. Damn, Woolbag, why are you trying to say he's not respecting him? I don't think that makes sense. Doesn't seem like not respecting him. Don't you think that's a little strong? I think it's a little strong. So yeah, hold on one second. All right, that's real time. I'm not looking at this in real time because I want to make sure I see what everybody's talking about. So all right, man. So let's ask questions and get into this. So yeah. But this is what I want to talk about, man. Man, Mike Tyson, did you see that the WBC said that Mike Tyson might actually be ranked near Deontay Wilder if he was to announce that he was coming back? That is bananas. And completely, and I know my boy don't come around too much anymore, man. I know you're probably listening, you're mad at me because I criticize the WBC, but hey, man, you cannot. If Mike Tyson actually decided, he said that he wanted to come back, if they put Mike Tyson in the top 10, that would be absolutely ridiculous, and just make a joke of the ranking systems. You might as well put, that would be, to me, that would be worse than Conor McGregor turning professional, fighting it. I don't know, what is he, 160? But just say, yeah, he comes back and fights at middleweight, and he becomes a top 6 middleweight because he was a champion in the UFC. That would be less scandalous than putting Mike Tyson in the top 10 or top 15 of the WBC rankings. Yeah, Suleiman likes money too. We all like money. And that, I know that's the obvious reason for it. But dang, let's not just, let's not be so obvious. That's just ridiculously obvious. But it's consistent. It's consistent with the franchise belt for sure. And it's consistent with decisions that have been being made. Juniper, people are waving off fuck shit because they don't like Tank. If Bomac did this with Spence, these same dudes would suddenly stand on their code. The code shouldn't been depending on the person. Ooh, Juniper P. Ooh, Juniper B. Juniper B. I think you win at Woolbag. I like that. I think that's worthy. People are waving off F stuff because they don't like Tank. If Bomac did this with Spence, these same dudes would suddenly be standing by their code. The code shouldn't be. Yes, I am. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. That's why I said I can see why Gervonta Davis might be upset. But yeah, you guys go overboard with Gervonta Davis. I have to say that about most people. You guys are, I don't get why you got, look, all this Gervonta Davis can't fight stuff is bullshit. Okay? It's just flat out bullshit. Okay? I'm just saying it. All this, he's easy money. That's all bullshit. Okay? Gervonta Davis can fight, and you dudes are underestimating him. Like, you are seriously underestimating Gervonta Davis. I have no idea why you don't think that Gervonta Davis can beat the tar out of somebody. I don't get it, dude. Gervonta Davis can fight. Okay? Gervonta Davis can fight. Even being a smaller fighter, I wouldn't be surprised if he wouldn't whoop some of these big dudes. I was reading, man, please. He gets up inside on these dudes and start hitting them in the middle of the chest. hit these dudes with straight shots to the chest, right to the heart. Dude, he can screw around and hurt you, man. We just got to stop I've never been a supporter of this anti Gervonta Davis thing, man. Oh, Juniper B said, I'm a fan of Haney too. Don't get me wrong. Hey, you can be a fan of Devin Haney. I'm telling you, I'm a fan of Devin Haney. I'm not saying Devin Haney can't beat Tank. I'm not saying that at all. You've never heard me try to downspeak the abilities of Devin Haney. Devin Haney looks like a top quality fighter to me. All I'm saying is this just because you like Devin don't mean the Tank can't fight. That shit does not equate. That doesn't work that way. Jose de Jesus in the super chat, man. Much love, man. Appreciate you. Said Paulie must be getting paid off Eddie Hearn. Paulie always trashes fighters he thinks are on PD. Now he's advocating for White to get a title shot. I mean, come on, man. The media's job is doing the media's job. Paulie Malignaggi is boxing media. What do you expect? A higher standard from Paulie Malignaggi? Come on, man. Much love in that super chat. You don't expect. I don't expect a higher. Do you expect anything different? Just like, I think you have expectations. You have more expectations of people in their youth than you do in their older age. Because once they become their old age, come to the point of being 30, 35, 40, you start knowing who they are. You know what I mean? But when somebody's young and they're just all they're doing is fighting and you don't really have a chance to hear or think too much about what they actually think, you can actually kind of be fans of them. Paulie Malignaggi is that type of dude. Like, I didn't mind. I actually rooted for Paulie Malignaggi a little bit. From New York, he used to talk about, yo, player. Back then, you remember when he had little black people braids? Remember Paulie Malignaggi's appropriation days? Remember when he used to appropriate black fighters and put them braids in his hair? You remember him getting slapped in the mouth with all those cornrows in his head? Appropriating black culture? How many Italian dudes run around with hair like that? All of a sudden, though, our days are over, huh? Like, Paulie. Big Dog Willie said, Fannon, I'm a healthcare worker. Morphine works best for trauma injuries. The doctor was being lazy with your pain management. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. Because, dude, all that shit did is make my stomach sick, and I stopped. I was like, no, I'm not taking any more of this. It didn't help because I didn't feel anything, and it just made my stomach upset. Let me see. But this is nothing to do with Tank dedication. He's paying Floyd. That was a stab in the back. I mean, I think stab in the back is a bit strong. Kennard Smith, much love in that super chat, man. He said Tyson and Holyfield 3 would be big, and you're right about Tank. Thank you, Kennard. Yeah, Tyson Holyfield would be big. Yeah, but it don't need to be. Neither one of those dudes need to be ranked. Come on, how you gonna do that, man? That just makes the joke. No, they need to stay away from that, man, for sure. But yeah, man, Tank can fight. Devin can fight too. I just think that's a little lopsided. Like Errol Spence can fight, and Terrence Crawford can fight too. Both those dudes can fight. Vasily Lomachenko versus Gervonta Davis. I take Gervonta Davis. I'll roll with Gervonta Davis in that one. Yeah. I'll take power and speed over craftiness. Gervonta can crack, and he's faster than Lomachenko. He's faster with bigger shots, and they're both southpaws. So that neutralizes that. I rewatched that Vasily's been calling him out. Yeah, he has been. Yeah, that he has. I still take, but time keeps on ticking. See, I think the operative word there has been calling him out. Well, how long has he been calling him out? For a couple years now. And that means he's a couple years older. And that hasn't worked to his favor with Gervonta Davis. It's provided Gervonta Davis isn't slacking off, and he really is training and he stays sharp. But hey, man, he bopped Yorgiokas Gamboa. And people can say, oh, he didn't finish him off, man. He racked him in the first. Dude, if that dude didn't hurt his legs, he might have been knocked out in the second or the third round by Gervonta. But Gervonta did a tear. And see, it's a shame, Woolbag, because he did Gervonta Davis did Yorgiokas Gamboa just like Terrence Crawford did Igis Kalvinauskas, except for Terrence Crawford got his ass knocked down. It was a good fight, but eventually got him out of there. Or like how he got Jeff Horn out of there. Or got those other dudes, these other late round knockouts that he's been getting. TC the Christ said Tyson has a chance only for about a good 12 seconds. Yeah, he could luck up and hit something, land something. But yeah, I mean, if he was 40 and, I might think, but I don't know. I don't think so, man. Yeah, you can't teach power. Well, shoot. Gervonta Davis got that. A whole bunch of it. Whole bunch of power. There you go. Looking for something. Let me see. Gervonta needs to collect that belt. Yeah, but he's going to get back. He's going to get the belt back that he just had. Daryl Lightfoot, Fannon. Hey, thanks for the caps. Fannon, how come you rank Crawford number one pound for pound, but then you say he hasn't fought anybody? I said he hasn't fought anybody who is a welterweight. That's somebody who is a welterweight. I rank him number pound for, and plus those are two different subjects. Because when I'm talking about pound for pound, I'm looking at Terrence Crawford, the fighter, and what he's done, what he can do in the ring. And what he can do in the ring is the best balance of the four scoring criteria in boxing. That's why. Because his clean and effective punching, his effective aggressiveness, his defense, and his ring generalship are impeccable. And I think combined is better than any other person's combination of those four aspects of the game, of the sport of boxing. That's why you judge fights based on those scoring criteria. It's not how many people you fought at welterweight. That's a different subject. If you want to say, well, who do I think is the top guy at welterweight right now and who will win the fight, I'd say Errol Spence Jr. But I do not think Errol Spence Jr. is, I would rank Terrence Crawford above him. And when I look at the four scoring criteria of boxing, the balance of them. But I just think that two particular areas that Errol Spence has an advantage on is effective aggressiveness, clean and effective punching. I think I rank Errol Spence Jr. higher in those two categories than Errol Spence. And then I would give Terrence Crawford defense and maybe ring generalship. Ring generalship, quite honestly, is a toss-up. Maybe I'd give Terrence Crawford defense because of his advantage, because his ability to switch southpaw and orthodox and move out. So that's why. There's a difference between me talking about the balance of the scoring criteria and what I think about what will happen in an actual fight. Hope that makes sense to you. Let me go down. It was Gamboa who was the next Floyd, if y'all don't remember. Man, get out of here. Nobody want to hear about Yuriokas Gamboa. Did nobody ever think Yuriokas Gamboa was? Hey, cool, Daryl Lightfoot. Thank you for the question. Didn't know everybody ever think that boy was the top. Wanyan Martin. Crawford weak spot is his stomach. Benavidez almost dropped him with the body shot. Spence will murder him. Well, hey, man. I got Terrence Crawford. I don't think he's going to murder Terrence Crawford. Like crazy. I don't think. I think he might get him in the later rounds. That's a possibility. Terrence can fight, man. I'm just saying. Terrence Crawford can fight. I'm not just going to say he's going to walk through him. Watch. I'm definitely going to be watching. You ain't got to worry about that. They could put that shit on pay-per-view next weekend for $100. My shit would be down on that right away. Right away. Oh, there's $100. I pay $100 for that. Would you guys pay $100 for that? Serious question. Would you pay $100 to see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford fight? Hold on one second. Oh, slipping out, ain't me. Okay. Let me say, I hope that with Bob Powerhouse Watson, I hope with Bob Arum making Wilder Fury 3, hope they can make Crawford Pac-Man. Let me tell you who's making. I think you got that wrong, Powerhouse Watson. Do you know who's making Wilder Fury 3? Wilder. Wilder's making that fight. He made the first fight. He made the second fight. He's making this fight too. It's called a rematch clause, homeboy. If they didn't have to fight him, they'd be out. He just enlightened you. Deontay Wilder is going to be a promoter on that. He's the promoter. He's the guy that named this trilogy was Deontay Wilder's idea. This trilogy that's going on between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is not Bob Arum's idea. It's Deontay Wilder's idea. Bob Arum just creeped into it. He just got brought into it by Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder is the one that made this fight. This is a trilogy. He's not making the next fight. He's keeping an obligation for a fight that Deontay Wilder made in the negotiation to begin with. Get it right. Pay respect to Bomb Squad Promotions. Y'all act like you don't exist. Am I missing something? I thought he was the guy that made these fights. And I thought Bob Arum was sitting at home for the first one. But now Bob Arum made the fight? What am I missing? How'd that shit switch? He's got Bob Arum. The first fight Bob Arum makes will be if Tyson Fury. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, he made those Otto Wallin. That's what Bob Arum made. Otto Wallin and Sefi Safiri. No, Otto Wallin and what the heck? What's the other guy's name? Oh, and Tom Schwartz. Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. That's who they made. That's who in them little ass shows over there in Vegas. That's what Bob Arum made. That's what Bob Arum made. Don't be trying to give Bob Arum Deontay Wilder's credit. Yeah, Tom Schwartz. That's what's up, Firehouse Watson. I just want to make the show let it be known, dog, because I see these people acting like Bob Arum is going to tell everybody where everything's going to take place, as if Deontay Wilder doesn't have any say-so in it. That's not how that works. That wasn't the case. That was not the case. That was not the case when Anthony Joshua had a rematch clause with Andy Ruiz. You remember that? Everything. Oh, Andy Ruiz had no choice whatsoever what he had to do. He had to take the rematch. He had to do exactly what it was that Anthony Joshua said. But all of a sudden, Tyson Fury's running the show. Like, where the fuck this come from? Pretty funny, huh? Fannon, who do you think Jamal Charlo should fight next? Jamal Charlo should fight next? Chris Eubank, if he can get it. Of the reasonable fights, I'll take Chris Eubank. I like Chris Eubank. I think that's a good fight. It's going to be a fight too. Somebody's getting knocked out. Most likely Chris Eubank. But Chris Eubank going to come to fight. He's a good lightweight. I think the only fault he had one loss at middleweight against Billy Joe Saunders. The other loss he had was at super middleweight with George Groves. But those are good fighters, and he put on a good fight towards the end of the George Groves fight. I can't recall if I don't think I saw much of the Eubank Saunders fight. Yep, lost to George Groves at 168. And Billy Joe Saunders at middleweight. Yep. What's going on? Drink more water. Chilling. Jason Rosario for the unification. No, he has Jermall. That's Jermel. Powerhouse. That's Jermel. Jermel is Rosario. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see Lubin too. Now I'm getting a little bit excited about Erickson Lubin and Jermel Charlo. I got fights. The fights that I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see Teofimo Lopez versus Vasily Lomachenko. I'm really looking forward to seeing that fight. I want to see Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez. I want to see Mikey Garcia versus Manny Pacquiao. I want to see Errol Spence Jr. take a tune-up. I want to see him beat up Maurice Lee. I'm in favor of that. Let him fight Maurice Lee. Give him $10 million to fight Maurice Lee. I'll take that. And so, get his shoulders loose. Powerhouse said, I F with Erickson Lubin, Florida boy. Yeah, he can fight. I want to see that. Erickson Lubin's next fight, Erickson Lubin, Tony Harrison would be good. I like to see Erickson Lubin, Tony Harrison. I think they were supposed to fight to be the mandatory for Jermell. I'd like to see that fight. Hey, Fannon, are you a fan of Regis Prograis? Yeah, absolutely. Rougarou. Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis is a really good fighter. I think he got jobbed against Josh Taylor. I thought that fight very well should have been a draw. And on top of it, it was unfair for him to have to go and fight in Josh Taylor's backyard, man. You know what I mean? That was a money thing, though, because there's probably more money for it there. So it had to happen, you know, how it happened. But no, I rocks with Regis Prograis. I thought he got jobbed. Put on a really good fight. Got many more ass whoopings to dish out. That dude is that is a throwback fighter. People talk about like fighters being, you know, throwback fighters. Regis Prograis is a throwback fighter. He looks just like them 1930s fighters, the way he fights. Like, I don't know who taught him or where, you know, what gym he was in, but dude, he looks like that's a throwback fighter right there. Is Regis Prograis. That's a little dude who was beating up Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's much bigger. Eddie Stavern, Taylor beat him easily. Ha ha, con man. No, I mean, what's the fucking con man? What's the con? Eddie Stavern. What's the con? The fight was won if they would have gave the 12th round to Regis Prograis, the fight would have been a draw. And I thought he won the 12th round. Con man. It's the fucking actual scorecards. Go look at the actual scorecards. They're on BoxRec. Go look at the scorecards. Change one round on one guy's card from 12 to 10-9 for Taylor to 10-9 in favor of Regis Prograis, and you find that would have been a draw. It's not a con, dummy. It's literally what the situation was. That's literally what happened. It's not my opinion. It's a fact. Facts. You know how they say that? They like them facts. That's them facts. He's a one-handed fighter with all due respect. Now, he's got two hands. Regis Prograis can hit with either hand, man. What Regis Prograis are you watching? Regis Prograis can hurt you with a jab. Regis Prograis hits you with left and right hooks. Regis Prograis has no power, no problem with power in both hands, man. I don't know who are you watching? What Regis Prograis are you watching? Justin States getting my cash. What's good? He said Tito Trinidad versus Bud. Who wins and how? I think I might I go with Tito. I can't put him. My mind's eye tells me Bud might get him. Like, I think kind of like, oh, Bud might get him. Bud has a chance to get him. Because Trinidad was kind of plotting. You know what I mean? Trinidad did not have the fastest feet in the world. And Oscar De La Hoya managed to stay way away from him for most of that fight. So I have to imagine that Terrence Crawford can mix that up real well. And that southpaw stance, I don't know. You know what I mean? That switches it up on Tito. That's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But I might go with Tito because Tito might catch his ass. Because if Tito catches his ass, that's his ass. Okay, I know that. If Tito hits Bud with one of them Igis Kalvanakis wops on the inside, nah. And that was the thing that made me worry a little bit about Bud last fight. It was the fact that it was the pretty much fundamental style of Igis Kalvanakis that caused him problems. Just jab, straight right hand. Jab, straight right hand. Boom, boom. You know? Boom. But at 147, if Tito don't stack his hand wraps, disrespecting the money. You can disrespect the memory of Tito. All right, come on, man. More questions. This is fun. This is fun. Dude with all the cornball questions is gone. I'm sure he's not here, so we can ask reasonable ones. Tito was front heavy. Yeah, exactly. Front foot heavy. Definitely. Oh, Trinity. Yeah, I remember low common denominator, home of the U.S., home of the demographic. Tito has some low key glove controversy like Margarito as well. Yeah, like real low key, nothing like that. But I think that's the Bernard Hopkins fight. He made him rewrap his hands in the Bernard Hopkins. Yeah, they came with early. Yeah, that was right before the Bernard Hopkins fight. He had to rewrap his hands. Who wins, Tank versus Haney, in these two scenarios? Fresh out the pandemic, 100% at their best and 100% focused. 3 fights to 2. 3 fights to 2 for Gervonta Davis. But we'll never get to have all 5 fights because I think the fight could go either way. But if I had to, I'll pick Tank. You know what I mean? William Joppy knows all about those hand wraps. He told us all about. Did he? I didn't see it. So I have to see it. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised because, hey, he was busting people up. Fannon, I think the big money fight in the future will be Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson. No. Those guys are different sizes. Devin Haney could have a great. Devin Haney is more like Teofimo Lopez. Guys that are going to be like 140 and 1. I think he's going to be up at 147. I think he's going to wind up being up at 147. And I think he'll do really well because he'll get stronger. I was looking at him again, and he's still a kid, man. He's not all the way strong, too. So I think also, because how old is Devin Haney? Is he 21 yet? Devin is 2 years away from 147. Could be. But he's going to wind up there. That's the majority. If it's 2 years, that's the majority of his career is 147. Yeah, at 22, by the time he's 24, he won't even be in his prime in his career by the time he gets to 147. You know? But that dude can fight. As long as he can crack, as long as he can really crack, really start hurting people with his shots, like Bud does, Bud be hurting people. Haney beats Tank, St. Cruz, and Loma beats Lopez. Yeah, I reverse. I switch up with you, St. Cruz. I switch up with you on that. But like I said, I could be wrong. I ain't betting the house on it. I'll tell you that. Absolutely. Haney worries me. His last fight. This is Juniper B. Haney worries me with his last fight. If he fought like that against Tank, he would have been seriously hurt. I have to go back and look. I thought, isn't that the one where he hurt his shoulder? Can't fight Tank with a hurt shoulder. But I've never seen him look bad. You know? The kid can fight. He's a very good fighter. Would you like to see this is Kenny. Would you like to see a World Boxing Super Series tournament for 154 and 160? Oh, that would be great, but it's impossible. Those are 2 weight classes. Number 147, you really don't even need it. 147 is almost there. We've had our tournaments, and the winner of that mug is going to either be Jermell Charlo or Jason Rosario. I'm really looking forward to that fight because Gervonta Davis and Jermell Charlo need to be on them top 10 pound for pound lists. That's crazy that you got you got Estrada, Juan Carlos Estrada on there, but you don't have Jermell Charlo. What are you talking about? That's just bananas to me. Or Tank on there. Mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. No, Haney would have to box if he's traded. It's over at 135. Kane the bad guy. You've seen? I haven't seen a like that. Devin Haney has a bad chin. What made Santiago world class? What did he do? Who is Santiago? Haney fought a world class Dominican amateur boxer in his last fight on 2 weeks' notice. The guy was 5'11" and undefeated. Yeah, the dude was really, he had all that? Yeah, 5'11" dude that was what? World-class Dominican amateur boxer, last fight on 2 weeks' notice. The guy was 5'11" and undefeated. Yeah, and he won the fight. Fannon, did you read the Bob Arum article yesterday on ESPN about controversial decisions on 5 fights he promoted? No, I didn't. I have to go check that out. Justin states to get my cash, Bud versus Big Charlo. Come on, man. Why are you trying to get Bud hurt? Don't try to get Bud hurt. Much love in that super chat. Don't try to get Bud hurt. That's not necessary. Bud didn't do nothing to you. No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. Why is Tank crying about Mayweather training Haney? Mayweather has been trying to get Tank to train in Vegas for years. He's undisciplined, but a great fighter. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, hey, he's a great fighter. I don't know if he's not disciplined or not. I'm not in his training camp. He doesn't look like he's as big right now as he's been in the past. But, hey, when it shows in the ring, it's something that I'll talk about. But if it's not showing up in the ring, I don't know what I can say. Charlos ain't hurting Bud. Man, Charles ain't hurting Bud. Man, you're crazy. You're crazy. Man, Bud ain't fighting no Jamal Charlo. Are you nuts? Bud ain't even saying he's fighting Jamal Charlo. He said something about Jermel. He didn't say nothing about Jamal. Man, come on, man. Jamal Charlo will hurt Terrence Crawford. That's a mismatch. Man, way too little. Way too little. Way too little. That's not even a question. Way too little. Jamal Charlo. Do you know how weight classes work? Jamal Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. I go Jamal Charlo over Demetrius Andrade. But like I said, it could go either way. That's a pick 'em. I lean Jamal Charlo because he's more direct. So if he gets in a groove, he's going to be scoring. And he ain't no joke. The power advantage is definitely for Jamal Charlo. Charlo, as Demetrius Andrade likes to call him. Paul Loman. Charlos are overrated. So, okay, great. They're overrated. I still picking to beat Demetrius Andrade. What they're rated doesn't matter. What happens in the ring matters. Doesn't matter that they're overrated. But thank you for your observation. Ryan right now is an IG influencer, but hasn't fought anybody. But he can fight. I mean, he deserves to be in the conversation. And I think he's doing a good job, talking himself up. Speaking relative to Bud, I mean, relative. Let's deal actually. Oh, Mel, can Ryan Garcia really bang with Teofimo Lopez or Gervonta Davis? Yeah, they can bang with him. I don't know if he can take the punch, though. I mean, if Ryan Garcia hits you, he can hurt you. No doubt in my mind that if he hits you, he can hurt you. Ryan Garcia can punch. So, yeah, he can throw some hands with him. It's keeping them up off of that body and keeping them up off their chin that is the problem for Ryan Garcia, in my opinion. And something 2 quick knockouts do not answer. Because he ran over 2 dudes, fights were over. Great. I didn't see him get run at, which if he fights these dudes like Teofimo Lopez, he will be catching something ugly. Man, I don't think Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia goes by 3 rounds. 3 rounds. 3 rounds. 3 rounds. 3 rounds. Oh, Derek Gradney said it feels good to watch these punks run from Big Charlo. Sims, hey man, it's what it is. Hey, look, man, come on now. Jamal Crawford. That's not a fight Crawford wants. Way too big. Juniper P, Gary Russell Jr., Shakur Stevenson. Right now, Gary Russell Jr. But it's a fight that would test it's a fight that would test Shakur Stevenson. It'll test Gary Russell Jr. But Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr. without a doubt, Gary Russell Jr. That's why they didn't even talk. That's why I don't even talk about Gary Russell Jr. No, man, Gary Russell Jr. is gonna get inside and put them hands on that boy. He's gonna catch some with Gary Russell Jr. Another guy very underrated. Justin State to get my cash. In your opinion, how would boxing be if Dana granted? I mean, no individual can really run boxing because it's decentralized. So what you mean is how would boxing be if it operated in the same fashion as the UFC? You would get in a lot of great fights because they wouldn't have any choice but to make the fight. Because everybody would work for them, like the UFC. But, boxing is decentralized, so there can't really be one person that does it because it's, the promoters put on fights, state commissions allow the fight to take place, all right? It's not a league. It's not a league. Ryan said, my dog, what's up? What's up today, brother? I'm good, man. Chilling. How are you? Hope things are well with you. Oh, Matt Newcomb. What about Gary Russell Jr. moving to 135, fight Tank, Teofimo, and Haney? Too big. They're too big. They're too big. I wouldn't want to see him fight at 135. He's not the biggest 126. I think 130 is the limit for Gary Russell Jr. That I'd like to see him fight at. But really, right there at 126, those dudes could fight him if he wanted to, and they would be losing. Because that dude can fight. Shakur outboxes Gary Russell Jr. I can't see that. I can't see that. I can't see that at all. I see Mr. Gary Russell Jr. putting them hands on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur got a couple years, man. Let him get to lightweight. They're just not gonna do that. Because he's gonna get them hands put on him now. That's for sure. With Gary Russell Jr. Now he might put some hands on Gary, which I don't know if he can. That's the problem with Gary Russell Jr. It's very difficult to put your hands on him. It ain't like he's taking shots. He's not. The dude is very quick, man. Gary Russell Jr. is faster than Shakur Stevenson. Man, Gary Russell Jr. is a lot faster than Shakur Stevenson. A lot faster and a lot more experienced. So, all right, you be careful. Be careful what you ask for. He got a draw on a card against Vasily Lomachenko. And Lomachenko can fight. And Gary Russell was in there in the early part of his career handling his business. He lost a fight, but dude, Gary Russell can fight. All right. So, Shakur or Rigondeaux? I mean, Shakur Stevenson's too big for Guillermo Rigondeaux. Why you want to put Gary? Dude, I already said Shakur Stevenson's probably going to wind up a lightweight. Rigondeaux's 118 pounds, man. Way too small. Way too small. You trying to catch me? Rigo too small, really do. Yeah, actually. Shakur beats Rigondeaux. See, Woolbag, why you gotta be a jerk, man? And say, oh yeah, he beats him. When you know it's not a fight that could be made because of the size. Just trying to find a way to take a dump on Rigo. I feel you. I see you. Why everyone want to know little ass Rigo with these big ass dudes? Exactly. They just trying to screw over Rigondeaux, dog. I'm telling you, it's crazy. Crazy how they do Rigondeaux. Don't say monster. Like, how would Monster do with Rigondeaux? Rigondeaux. Make that fight. Yeah, prove it. Yeah, I know Daryl Lightfoot. I know. I mean, Daryl Lightfoot. I see you. He's the resident hater for 9. It's fun though. I don't mind it at all. It's all good. Trying to get Rigondeaux killed. What you think about Rigondeaux versus Beterbiev? Well, I take Beterbiev, I guess. Oh, hey, Woolbag. Rigondeaux snaps Inoue's jaw, dog. Let him come to America and fight the best guy in the weight class. That's what I say. When he comes to the United States, let him fight the best guy in his weight class. The best guy at 118. Let Inoue do that. He's pound for pound top 5 guy, right? Why don't you get the former top 5 pound for pound Guillermo Rigondeaux? Since you're picking on old men and barely getting out of there. With Nonito at that. Not Rigondeaux. Nonito. He said and get his ass beat. Oh, he's going to catch one, dog. That's for damn sure. He damn sure going to catch one on that chin. Ooh, will his chin, the big question is, will his chin shatter? Or will it just render him unconscious? Because I think Rigondeaux's the bigger puncher. Inoue went life and death with the man Rigondeaux schooled. Yes. Oh, said, why are we picking on Tank Davis? I'm from Baltimore and don't like it. I'm not picking on Tank. I've been supporting Tank. That's because there's a bunch of Devin Haney fans up in here. That's what it is. That's all it is. You just came in a situation where there's a lot of people that like Devin Haney. But trust me, the host of the show has Gervonta Davis's back on all his foolishness. Gervonta Davis can fight, dude. Period. And you hard pressed to get somebody to beat him. Y'all acting like somebody that you just dog walking Tank. That's hard to sustain. For 9, this is Willie Nutt from LA checking in. What's good? What's the good topic today? Hey man, we just chopping it up. What did we originally start talking about? Something. Oh, whether Gervonta Davis, the Gervonta Davis Floyd Mayweather Jr. thing. And then it proceeded to people insulting the fighting ability of Gervonta Davis for some crazy reason. He who greets with fire. I can understand why Floyd was working with Dev at the time. At the same time, it seems like a mistake. Yeah, I mean, mistake or not now, though, it's happened. So he ain't going nowhere, though. Oh, Derlin, are we officially done with the Wilder versus Joshua debate? No, because They just ducked Deontay Wilder again for no good reason. Eddie Hearn just pulled off said that he would pull off a Deontay Wilder duck move. They would not put in a contract, the insult Deontay Wilder shit they got going on in the UK. Trying to find new inventive ways to insult Deontay Wilder. Like, make up shit he didn't say and debate about it. Respond to requests that were never made with opinions that don't matter. Just to, set up matchups with fighters that you know damn well he ain't fighting. All kind of stuff, man. Hey, Matt Newcomb, much love in the Super Chat. He said AJ's a punk. Yeah. Nah, Juniper B, why should he leave TMT, man? That dude just need to sit down there and do it and just be all right and go and fight. It ain't that big a deal. If you're gonna try to leave a promotional company for something as small as that, you really kind of that shit seems kind of trivial to me. Something like that. You said hello to somebody, break the contract. I mean, for what? Nah. I don't think so. He's just be all right, man. He's doing well. They're doing a great job for him. All things considered, they're doing a great job for him. He insulted himself with there you go. He insulted himself with the excuses, no class at all in defeat. Simon Marks. See, it's this. Thank you very much. It's a perfect example. Thank you. What excuse did he make? Did you hear him make? That's what I meant. And when I said you're just making up shit that he didn't say and complaining about it, like the helmet on his head was the reason that he lost. He never blamed the loss of the fight on that. But you run around and act like he did, like you have some audio on it or something. But there's no audio on it. Nobody has it on tape. All the interviews that take place with all these stuff on tape, nobody has it. And most importantly, he said that wasn't the reason. He was just talking to a bunch of people and somebody took a quote the wrong way and ran with it. Is that you mean the excuse that he didn't make, or the $10 million step aside money he didn't ask for that Tyson Fury refused to give? Some rumor that Deontay Wilder was going to take $10 million just magically disappear, just magically appears in the media. Magically. A source. Who's the source? There is no source. Somebody just makes the shit up. It says a source. Says $10 million. And then Eddie Hearn responds to it by saying that he would not give Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder's not worth 40%. So he takes the shit on Deontay Wilder based on a rumor that was spread with no source. But then Tyson Fury does the same thing, did the same thing, and says that he would refuse. He would rather batter him. He's not going to give him $10 million. He didn't ask for $10 million. And mighty funny from a guy, fat slob sitting on the couch that just not too long ago had Deontay Wilder offering him an ungrateful rat. But anyway, is that what you're talking about? Just making up shit that's not true so you can criticize it and respond to it. Every person I've ever asked if they heard Deontay Wilder blame it on the mask. Every person, no, I never heard that. Thank you. You've never heard that. You've heard other people say it, but you've never seen. You can't go and do some YouTube documentary, pull up the tape and play. Boop. This is him saying it. Get out of here, man. But you can go to 78 Sports TV's channel and hear Deontay Wilder say, and hear a guy that interviewed Deontay Wilder say that's Deontay Wilder said, no, that's not what I said. And nobody reports anything about that. As many things as they steal from these type of dudes' news channels to report on, they somehow skip that one. Come on, man. Y'all just big time out there in the UK. You just feeling big time right now. You know, you're feeling big time. And you're taking a dump on Deontay Wilder. Daniel Dubois is now Deontay Wilder is being hunted by easy money for Daniel Dubois. Easy money, right? Not worth a fight for. Yeah, that's mighty convenient. That's what that. Hey, if there was ever a rematch clause that is righteous, is that one. C-Cut. Why is Davis mad at Mayweather? Because, it flew, man. I'm sorry. I think I asked that a bunch of times. Hey, he who greased with fire. For now, these dudes watch your channel and just take the opposite position you and the LDBC takes. Yeah, pretty much. But it's cool. Take whatever opinion you want. Take whatever opinion you want. So, but yet, show me the tape. Play me the audio. I already told you guys, man. The reason I started doing a bunch of Deontay Wilder videos is because out in the UK, there's a channel that was just making shit up about Deontay Wilder. Just making the shit up. Like it's like just out of blue, out of thin air. Pull out this thing about Deontay Wilder's brother testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. Just pull it out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, and you still get people asking you questions about it. What do you mean? When? What do you mean? When did he test positive for performance-enhancing drugs? They have no idea, but they heard it. These dudes gossip on. They just be making stuff up, man. Larry Meeks, you want to be blocked. Bye. Fannon, who are the champs at 130? Miguel Berchelt, Jojo Diaz, some Japanese. At 130. Yeah. Jojo Diaz, Miguel Berchelt. Who's the WBA? Oh, Leo Santa Cruz. And I don't know who the WBO guy is. I don't know. Oscar Valdez, thank you. Oscar Valdez. There you go. And Oscar Valdez. And that makes sense. I was like, I know it's the top ranked guy. Mia said, wait, remember when he was supposed to fire Breland? Oh, yeah, exactly. He's gonna fire Breland. Breland didn't get fired. Didn't Spencer Fearon say that? He flat out lied and no one said anything. I told you about that dude. I told you about those dudes, all those dudes. Whatever, man. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Serve up that rematch, though. Thank you very much. Spend up that and give up that money. He flat out lied. No one said anything. Just make shit up. Fannon, in your honest opinion, how much has Wilder really hate for the Black American male, or do you think it plays a part? I think most of the Wilder hate comes from. Well, let me say that I think there are people there are critics of Deontay Wilder, and so there's some guys that I think have real legitimate issues with his fundamentals, like his boxing fundamentals. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that somebody that thought that Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury or that, he's not a good fighter. I wouldn't say that, they're necessarily hating on him if it's something based on just, the technical aspects of the game, like the things that, Andre Ward might say, something like that. But then there are the people that just fucking lie. You know what I mean? Like the people that just lie, they are trying to sell newspapers or they're trying to get clicks on their videos. They're trying to get clicks on their videos. And they're trying to keep the name of their fighter in the forefront by insulting Deontay Wilder. That's what I think. And I think that a lot of these guys don't really pay any attention to the sport of boxing. That's why they ask questions like, who would win between Rigo, Rigondeaux, and Jose Ramirez? You know, people that ask you questions where, you know, it's obvious they don't know that they're just pulling some shit out their behind. That's what I think about most of them. And then there's just some over-the-top jackasses that want to just insult people all the time. But it really doesn't matter because Deontay Wilder got that money. And it was mission accomplished. Personally, it was mission accomplished for me. It was mission accomplished for me a long time ago. I used to debate with these dudes, and we would go back and forth, and they trying to tear him down. And they were like, the things that they used to say about him no longer are the case. They used to say he never fought anybody. They used to say he never didn't make any money, right? That he all of that crap, all that stuff went by the wayside. Especially all the stuff about him being broke and him never being able to be on pay-per-view and all of that. Well, that got busted. He did 3 very successful pay-per-views. He made, according to what some people say, $20-25 million in multiple fights. So he made all the money. You used to say nobody knows him. All y'all know him now. That's why you clout chasing him, talking about how Danny Dubois is going to fight him and you can't keep your name out of his mouth. Say what you want to say about him, but you can't keep your name out of his mouth. You know, with all this garbage, to the point where you make up something and then start debating about it and getting people to comment on something you made up. Kane the bad guy. Will bag, you're a hater. Fannon, do you think there's a concerted effort to get AJ to not fight Wilder? I think so, of course. He don't want to fight him. The dude can get knocked out. He's not trying to get in there with Wilder. He's not 6'9", 300 pounds. They can say what they want, but they're not 6'9", 300 pounds. Or if you're go find your next, yeah, okay, Deontay Wilder's going to have a problem every time he gets in the ring with somebody that's 6'9", 300 pounds. Hey, now go find somebody 6'9", 300 pounds that not named Tyson Fury. Bring David Price and see how that turns out. Whatever. UK fans like streetwalkers, they always got you. In their mouth, hating ass. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's what it is. For now, what do you talk about on Patreon? You got to check out the Patreon. That's part of the Patreon. That's the part of the Patreon. Some boxing issues, some social issues. Doing some different things, so there's going to be a change to the way that is. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Just go to the Patreon. All I'm saying is Wilder got cheated out of his belt, and it's why. Oh, I didn't hear that. Was a part of that. Tyson Fury going to sleep in the 3rd fight. I hope so. That would make this last one worth it. It would make everything worth it. That shit would be hilarious. They trying to go take him to go fight in China. Ugh. What's your honest opinion? Why would I give you anything else? Mel Brazil. What other kind of opinion would I give you? A fake opinion? Why would I do that? I like Canelo, but he seems like he's ducking everybody, or am I missing something? I don't think he's ducking everybody. I think he's ducking Charlo. I think everybody else he's open to fight, but he can't fight them all at the same time. That's what I think about with the only person he's out that I think that Canelo Alvarez is ducking is Jamal Charlo. That's the only one. Because he know dang well he ducked out of that regular WBC title, so he didn't have to fight Jamal Charlo to keep it. He took that franchise thing. That's a duck. Everybody else, they just want to fight him, and he can't fight everybody at the same time. Can't whoop everybody at the same time. You know, even under the influence of computerol. Just messing. Man, he ain't, and I don't think he's scared to fight anybody. Canelo Alvarez don't act like don't seem to me to be scared of anybody, really. But there's just, duck applies to Jamal Charlo. He ducking Andre too. I don't know. That's just not fighting somebody because, like I said, he has other champions he can fight. He can fight. He fought Derevyanchenko. He fought Daniel Jacobs. He's fought champions. But a mandatory to duck, that's a duck. He moved out of the way of his mandatory by taking that franchise championship from the WBC. That's why I say that he's ducking Charlo, because that's a duck move. The rest of that, he can be. He has got a bunch of people to pick between. I mean, he could literally have a good fight, a reasonable fight to be made with Andre, with Callum Smith, with David Benavidez, with Caleb Plant, with Gennady Golovkin, and Jamal Charlo. All of those are reasonable fights for Canelo. I don't think he's ducking anybody, but the dude who he ducked by taking that, by moving up and taking a WBC franchise belt. So he didn't have to, so he would pay the fee without the mandatory. That's some BS. So that's a duck. Okay, that's a duck. There's no other way around that. That's the only one I think is ducking. He's ducking. How was that so bad? Because he was your mandatory. He fought himself to be a mandatory. That was part of being the champion. As the champion, you have to defend against all comers. And the mandatory is how you make sure that happens. That a guy gets his championship shot because he's ranked. Right? Not just because you picked him. So when you get out of your responsibility to fight a mandatory, you duck the mandatory. Because he was right there. Why would you have to go if you didn't fight? All you had to do was fight him. If you want to get rid of the mandatory, get rid of the mandatory by fighting him. He decided that they came up with some logic that he's above a mandatory because he's for the greater good of all boxing. Fuck out of here with that. That's some BS, man. That's some BS. You know it. Saunders would be a reasonable fight for him too. Billy Joe Saunders, he's the WBO 168-pound champion. That's a belt, right? We got 4 major belts. So you can it's actually nowadays really tough to say you're ducking somebody because there's so many other options of people who have belts and weight classes, so many extra weight classes. There are only 3 real belts. All the others are fake. The WBC, the WBA, and the IBF. Yeah, WBO is kind of suspect, I must admit. Because they are just, it's like whatever Bob orders. That's a top ranked belt right there. That ensures that WBO keeps some Bob Arum champions over there. Arrow still issues, almost killed himself. What? Why are you bringing up bad shit about Errol Spence Jr. in that happened in his private life? Think you're a hater, man. Think it might be my pleasure to boot you. Where you at? I'll see you again. And when I see you, I'll be seeing you again. Because that's a foul thing to say, man. Get out of here, man. Don't need all that preaching. There you go, Paul Logan. Loman. Yeah, I give you one more shot, dude, Paul Loman. One more crazy thing you had to get up out of here, okay? Nobody needs you preaching. Barry Dorsey said, boot him. Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. Sorry, homie. You got to go. It was nice knowing you, but you got to go. Cleveland and Bill, what's going on, BVO Boxing? Going on there in Cleveland? Yeah, right. I said I was nice. Nah, I had to go. You know, it's cool, but you got to go. You're going, you're low blowing people. You're low blowing on people. Why take the sport seriously when he don't got to fight competition? Y'all want to see Tank get disciplined, but when he get disciplined, beat y'all favorite fighter, then what? Oh, they'll find another reason don't to dislike him. Hey, man, it's okay to be a Devin Haney fan. I booted him for that? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I booted him for that. You playing with life-threatening injuries? You don't think that that's inappropriate? Where are you from? No, man. Stop bringing that. I don't want them brought up around me. That's that, man. That's a terrible accident that took place. I don't want. Don't get preachy. You know what? No. He said, "Let him get disciplined and fight Devin Haney." Then, there you go, Woolbags trying to start some shit. Canelo ducking the strong black fighter, so he moved out of the division to duck Andre, who had the WBO belt after Camelot said he wanted to be undisputed. Now, there was that move because there was only one champion at a moment. Very good. Up. You're right. Duck Demetrius Andre, too. Duck Demetrius Andre because Demetrius Andre was for undisputed. I forgot. Good catch. He did duck him. Yes, he did. Justin State, to get my cash, if you had total control over boxing, what 6 fights would you make after COVID is over? Oh, I would make Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. I would make that. After Deontay Wilder got his 30 million step-aside money, since I'm being the commissioner, dude, I'm going to give him $30 million step-aside money out of them bastards' purses, make them dudes fight. They ain't got no choice. And so that would be one. Next fight would be 6 fights. I would say, obviously, Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. I would say, so that's 2. Charlo Canelo is 3. Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez is 4. Guillermo Rigondeaux, Monster Inoue would be 5. And I would like to see Dron Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Plant David Benavidez too. You're right. So maybe I'll move the last one out there. Yep. Yeah, they stay hating on Tank. Yes, they do. But that's all right, though. Jermell Charlo. Yeah, Rosario. Yeah. Jason Rosario, Jermell Charlo. Yeah, I mean, but you said 6, but yeah. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, get rid of something. Give me Jermell Charlo, Jason Rosario, for no doubt about that. But look, man, I'm going to get up out of here. Make sure y'all go check out my man KQKC Boxing coming up next. And with that, we out. Peace.